Welcome to All Girls Final with Afton and Kasey and the moderator, Courtney, which, I love this show so much.
I'm so glad you do.
2 hours last night, huh?
Yeah, I got a text about an hour before the show started from my mom, and she was like, hey, if you need to shower or if you need to do anything around the house, save it for 8 o'clock because there's going to be an interruption.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, because it was interrupted last night.
Yes, there was a 20-minute.
The presidential something or another.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I understand it's got to happen, and it always does happen during the season at some point, but I've never seen that happen during a football game.
No.
You know, I've never seen that happen during anything my husband cares about.
Fair point.
But yeah.
So did it need to be 2 hours long last night?
No. I mean,
No.
one of my biggest, my headline from this episode is, why in a 2-hour episode are we getting one challenge?
One challenge.
In 2 hours. And not even an exciting challenge. An endurance challenge.
Right.
How long can you stand up on this,
Yeah.
perch
And then
thing?
everyone
Those
falls.
are boring.
Those are
ones.
boring.
And
They
always
don't take long.
They make deals with each other.
They weren't doing that this time.
I mean,
but
this
we've
time
definitely had that.
It probably, in real time, it had to have lasted 10 minutes. Like, it was quick.
It was.
It was quick.
It wasn't a long one at all. So not only are you in 2 hours giving us one challenge, you're giving us a boring nothing challenge. It's disrespectful.
Right. Well, did you get any spoilers or do you know anything at all about last night?
I know one little thing.
One little term, I assume. Blood moon.
No.
Oh, she didn't. Yeah.
So the reason that the entire, or I should say there was only one challenge played, I assume is because they made such a huge deal about how this episode there was going to be a blood moon.
Remember last week, Kasey said, did you notice there's something in the scenes from our next episode that, Jeff is in the red and it looks really evil, spooky. That's what this was. And I don't know what your thoughts are.
Go for it.
I think they oversold it. I don't think it was hyped up to be something. And they even had, when each team would come to tribal, they'd all be looking around like, wow. And all it looked like to me is that they shined some red lights on some of the buildings. I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, I wrote down, okay, the blood moon twist. Can we talk about how the concept of a blood moon is simply a triple tribal? I would have loved it if Jeff had just said at that competition, that challenge, this is really important because 3 of you are going home.
Yes.
That's all that needed to be said.
You think it would have changed the challenge?
The way they did it just made the episode feel like they were hyping up something that wasn't there.
Yes.
And it was a triple?
It was a triple tribal.
Triple
well, that's a big
elimination.
deal.
Yes, but they went all in. They had this montage of the meaning of a blood moon. And it's like, we don't care. What we care about is 3 people are going home. 3 people are safe. 3 teams going to 3 separate tribal councils. That's crazy. That's what should have been sold more than the blood moon. We don't care.
How many are on each team right now?
Well, we also merged last night.
Yes.
So 17 people on one tribe, but whenever they went to the challenge, they split the tribe up into 3 groups of 5. And so those, does that math make sense?
Well, so when they merged, there was a note that a note was delivered that there was an advantage hidden out in the woods. So they all start running, all 17 of them. And eventually Ozzy finds the advantage, and the advantage says, you're going to Exile Island, which is typically a bad thing. It says you're going to Exile and you're taking somebody with you. But they figured maybe this means you're not going to the challenge, so you're safe. Mm-hmm. So that's what it was. So Ozzy got that. He took Rizzo.
I love that he took Rizzo.
I hate that he took Rizzo.
My boy is safe.
I hate that he's safe.
Do you think Rizzo would have been on the chopping block last night?
Maybe.
I don't know, man.
Are those 2 tight?
They're trying to be.
Because he's tight with Cirie, and Ozzy and Cirie are tight. So Ozzy's trying to lock in Rizzo because of Cirie. I don't like it.
Before we leave Ozzy, can we also mention how amazing it is that this advantage that he found is the first idol or advantage he's ever found?
I didn't realize that until
in Survivor. He's played 4 times?
I think so.
That's amazingly bad for him.
It is, because he has so many other skills.
Right, he can still make his way through.
Right. So they were safe. So out of the 17, 2 were at Exile.
So you had 15.
So you had 15 left. So they broke them into 3 groups of 5. So for the immunity challenge, there was a winner from each group. And then whoever stayed up the longest overall also got their reward.
Right. And
Which of those teams?
would you like to know about the reward?
I would.
Jeff rambled for a full 2.5 minutes and gave us the entire menu for Applebee's.
It was an Applebee's commercial. is what they
Applebee's on
won.
the island. He better be getting some residuals or like live read pay from
Yes.
that, because what he delivered, he was more excited about the Applebee's than the challenge.
I was ready to go to Applebee's after that.
But did it look good?
It did look good. Those
Yeah.
mozzarella sticks.
Oh, really? The Applebee's
They looked
has good mozzarella
I
sticks?
don't know.
Yeah.
But Jeff was
I
selling
know.
them,
I
so
know.
I was buying.
Fridays has great mozzarella sticks. Have you ever had those?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're next level. All right, so one team won this Applebee's.
Yes.
And then here's my question though. Since they divided to 3 different teams, do we have anyone that's been taken away from people they've gotten close to?
Oh yeah. It was basically a whole nother. They just did a random draw
Oh, yeah.
for the team, so it was a mix up.
Yeah.
But I would say the team that had Christian and Devins together was the most kind of united
Right.
voting block, if you will. Mm-hmm. But the rest
Yeah.
were kind of mixed up.
So it was a 2-hour episode, the challenge was tiny.
Yes.
What did they do for 2 hours?
A lot of the pre-tribal scramble and a lot of tribal.
Right. Because there were 3 tribals to cover.
Yeah, so 3 tribals lasted, what, 40 minutes?
I mean, it was probably an hour
Yeah.
of the 3 tribals.
And so they were all scrambling to try to make alliances with these new
Yep.
teams.
And make their pitch to
who
whoever
who looked like the most desperate?
What do you think?
The most desperate, maybe Genevieve, because she knew it was probably going to be her, and so she really started to scramble and make any deals that she possibly could, even though like upon walking into tribal she still knew I'm probably leaving tonight.
Yeah, I also thought Colby and Coach were pretty desperate, which bummed me out.
Yeah.
Because they're not usually in those positions.
That's another thing about scrambling up the team so much and having them go to tribal in this way. It brought out new sides of each character because they're usually never in a scenario like that.
Right. They've got their people.
They don't look weak.
It
Right.
takes a lot longer for those guys to get to a vulnerable position because they've got their people around them. And then suddenly it was like, there's only 5 people and one person has immunity. So we got to figure this out.
Oh. Okay, so the big thing I saw last night was Genevieve had to play some game.
Yes.
Or she had something.
Shot in the dark is what
Shot in the dark.
Yeah. That's what we were explaining to you last week, where she has
Yeah,
a
that
1
it's
in
the
6
dumbest
chance.
game ever.
That's
Yes.
right.
That nobody ever, the percentages are
1 in
not with
6.
the
I
person that
think
gets
we've
it.
seen it work 1 in 6 times.
Right.
That it's been used. I've only ever seen it be successful once, and I feel like it has only been played a handful of times over the course of its existence in the game because hasn't always been there.
It is truly something you would use if you know you're going home that night and you don't have an idol of some sort. That is your Hail Mary.
And is that what she had, or did she have an idol?
She did not.
She did not have an idol. She had the Billie Eilish boomerang idols, which she had sent off to 2 people. And I think while we're on Genevieve, we should mention that one of the people that she sent it off to was Ozzy.
Yep.
And the other one was Rizzo. And she made the conscious decision to lie to Rizzo and say, no, that wasn't me. I don't know who did it.
Which I thought was very smart.
I thought so too. That way, if Rizzo got voted out, the idol would boomerang back to Genevieve and no one would know that she had it. I thought that was a really smart move. And I was sad that I didn't get to see that play out.
Yeah, and talk about this dumb idol. The fact that Genevieve found 2 of them and neither
They were
of
both
them.
they were both the Billie Eilish
Yes,
one?
that's the only idols that have been found are the Billie Eilish ones. And I hate saying it because it's so dumb. And finding 2 idols is a huge feat. She did, and neither of them help her at all.
Yeah.
She's gone.
She still got voted out after finding 2 idols.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I have a little audio I'm going to play
Ooh.
from, it was a reel that I saw today talking about Survivor. And it says, This is
I have the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol.
every episode.
I heard Will has the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol. Who has the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol?
Send her the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol. Who has the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol?
Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol.
Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol.
Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol.
Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol. Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol.
Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol.
It says every episode of Survivor 50.
Especially
That's so true.
This episode was so like that because it was like as soon as they hit the merge beach and they're all together, they were all just like who
Yes.
has it? I have it. I know who has it. They were all that's exactly what
It was like a high school lunchroom, and the only secret that was left untold was that one about Genevieve sent it to Rizzo. And I was like, wow, that's the only thing that no one on this island knows.
Yes.
Now everyone knows everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, so other big moments before we get to Tribal Council?
Let's see. Did you have any, Kasey?
Before Tribal, not really, because it just took up so much of the episode.
Yeah, the only thing I had was that I did not know that Colby was injured until this episode.
Yeah, me too.
And I missed it maybe. When did they name the merge tribe?
Yeah.
They just all of a sudden their lower third said Manu Leva or whatever it is. And I was like, usually they name it together, they paint a flag, it's a whole thing. There was none of that.
There was none of that. And I think the only thing I can attribute that to is yesterday I saw Kelly Wentworth talk about this.
Oh.
She was like, when we started this season, we started with 24 players. Normally we start with like 16.
Yes.
We started with 24 players, and now we're still only down to 17, which means there's a lot less camera time to go around than there would have been. And so we're missing
2 hours yesterday.
we're missing a lot of little things here and there. So I also had no idea that Colby was injured.
Yep. And the other note that I had, which I think is very important that I want to talk about, the buff bows.
The buff bows, where did this come from?
I don't know, but I love it.
They're so creative. I was sitting there in my living room trying to figure out how they did that.
So they've taken, there's all these different ways you can wear your buff, right?
Oh, we're good.
And you always have to have your buff on at all times.
Why?
And that's just the rules.
the rule.
One way or another, it has to be on you. So they have them on their heads or their wrists or as a tube top or as a skirt or whatever. Well, two of the Genevieve and Tiff, on separate tribes, they had taken their buffs and made them into like a giant bow, with a knot in the middle, and it was in their hair, and it looked so cute.
Like Hello Kitty.
Yes.
Yes, it was actually really
And
cute.
no
I
one's ever
couldn't
done
figure it
that.
out.
So that was fun.
They probably. Do you think they worked on that?
Together, probably. And also, after this many seasons of Survivor, you'd think that there's no more creative ways to do things with a buff. And I love when people figure it out.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right. Did any of your favorites that you are rooting for, were they in trouble last night?
Okay, I'm trying to think who all went home. Well, I mean, I was sad about Colby.
I knew you would be sad. I was sad for you about Colby because I knew it was Colby or Coach, and I know you're disdain for Coach.
But I would have been bummed if it were Coach too, because he's so entertaining and so ridiculous.
He makes the show better.
He does, and to see, you had to have cried.
I was just gonna say Kasey's cry count. I had one, and it was when Colby gave his farewell speech at Tribal.
Oh my gosh, I actually cried too.
Did he know he was going home?
He
the
knew
writing
well
was
enough.
on the wall that it was going to be him or Coach, and so he started talking about you've mentioned this, I think, when we first started this, that there was original Colby, and then he came back on a season or two, and he was really grouchy and just kind of like mad, and then this season he came back as like this kinder, gentler Colby. And it was so fun to watch. And so he talked about that, which was really great. And they talked about him and Cirie and Coach and like the impact they've had on the game. And then Cirie is crying, and then he's walking out crying. And I'm like, I don't usually cry during Survivor. I was crying.
Yeah, especially because I know that he's 50 now, but he said it out loud. He's like, this is my last time. This is the last time I'm going to be here and do this and get my torch snuffed. And I was like, oh my God, it's the end of an era.
Yes. It was so sweet.
And did Cirie vote for him?
They all voted for him
Yeah.
because he was also injured. And so it
And you need them for the challenges.
Yeah, and
It just made sense.
it made sense to let him go out that way, because they were speculating there was a good chance he was going to get medevaced, which I think they're right. I think that he would have. And so for him to go out that way, I think was better. But it was very sad, but very sweet. It was a very sweet tribal. It was the last one they showed of the night. Other than Colby, I wasn't particularly upset by any of the
No,
votes.
I thought this, even though it was a triple tribal blood moon, hurt the least for me.
Yeah.
Before Colby got voted out, there was Genevieve. Genevieve, I didn't really like her season,
I didn't either.
but I thought she was interesting this time around.
She's a good player, too, just in general. Very strategic, very smart.
Mm-hmm.
But I also didn't like that season. I thought they were a little full of themselves, like, oh, we're so smart and great and blah, blah, blah. And so I didn't care that she...
Was gone. And then there was Camilla. And I think Camilla is a definite threat. So I was excited to watch her play this season without Kyle to see what she was capable of on her own. And I like a messy exit. I like when
Yes.
someone gets voted out and
And they get
calls
mad?
people out. Yes.
Yeah, me too.
And so she stands up and looks at Jonathan and goes, drag his name through the mud. Yes.
Why did she say that?
He lied and blindsided her.
But I don't think she really has the right to do that because she blindsided him last week with the Charlie vote.
Yeah.
So, you don't, whatever, you just did the same thing. So don't act like he did something so unthinkable. It's just that you didn't see it coming because Jonathan's just this big, dumb oaf, giant beast of a man.
She thought she had
She
it.
thought
Yeah.
she had him, and she didn't. And so I was really excited and happy for Jonathan to see his strategic side come out and go, what's best for me? And not just, well, I said I would be loyal to this person, so that's what I'm going to do. I think he made the right call because I think Camilla and Tiff would cut him as soon as they had the chance, as soon as they didn't need him anymore.
Yeah.
I think it was a smarter move for him, and for him to get back at her for the Charlie vote, I think it made sense. He was worried about the repercussions on both sides, no matter how he voted. And I think this is the one that makes the most sense that you can defend and go, well, she blindsided me on Charlie, so, I did the same to her.
With these people who have been voted out, it makes me think, oh, who could really be that mad about it when they all get back to camp? But it looks like the next episode is still going to be pretty explosive. So I'm wondering who's going to be up in arms. Probably Rizzo's going to be really sad that Colby's gone.
Yeah. And Coach looks to be on a rampage next
Right.
week, which is weird because he's been trying to play a different game and it's not working out so well.
Right.
And so, who, in your opinion, had a great week?
Man, I mean, I do think Jonathan had a great week. I thought, Ozzy finding that advantage and going to Exile. I thought Dee had a great week.
Dee had a great
she
week.
was really in the power position. She won immunity for her tribe, and so she kind of had all the cards in her hand. And I love Dee because the way that she just is fanning out over Cirie, but then also Colby. Like when she sat and talked to Colby, you could just see like her eyes light
Stars.
up. And she said she was 3 when he played his first season. And so it's like you could just see that she was really excited about it, but also kind of heartbroken for the decision that had to be made. So yeah, she had a big week too. Who am I missing?
So now they each have what? Does one team have an advantage now that you had 2 people off on Exile Island and 3 people were voted off, but now you have 2 people coming back to
Yeah,
it?
so now they'll all come back as one tribe.
They will.
Yes.
So this will be good.
Yes.
Yes. And I was thinking about it last night in terms of I thought they were all going to go to one tribal.
I did too.
And I thought, the math, how are you going to be on that beach
It'd be
counting your
crazy.
numbers with 17 people involved? So I'm glad they split it up, but I don't know how they'll do that moving forward.
It'll still be messy.
Yeah.
They might do, they've done before when it's this big of a merge, 2 immunities. So like a male winner, female winner. So that takes 2 people out of the mix, but it's still a lot of
It's
numbers.
still a lot of people at Tribal Council.
Still a lot of numbers to account for. A lot of votes to try to figure out how everybody's going to land.
What is something you're hoping to see in this 50th anniversary of this show that they haven't done yet?
Well, I mean, they brought back Exile, which part of me was glad because I like when they take something, a big benchmark, and pull it back in even just for an episode.
But Exile hasn't been the same as it used to be, like this big kind of punishment.
And it used to be scary. And like
Yes.
you'd show up and it'd be dark and storming
You
and
have
you're crying. There's
nothing.
You
no
had no
food.
shelter.
Ozzy's
No
out
food.
there in the most beautiful scene I've ever seen on TV, floating in the water saying, "This is paradise."
He's like, I'm good. And that's not what Exile used to be.
no.
I do hope they bring loved ones visit
Me too.
back, and I hope they.
It's a little early for that, right?
It's way too
Yeah.
early for that. I would love to see that. And then
You want more puzzles?
way more puzzles.
Puzzle challenges?
Lots more puzzles.
Afton loves a puzzle.
You love the puzzles?
I love puzzles in general.
Ah. So if
Do you
you
hear how
were,
judgy
say,
that
on the
was? It
island, do you think, like, if you were on a tribe, you'd be like, I got the puzzle, send me.
Probably.
Wow, we should compete together. I would be
Okay.
like, I got to swim or run or something.
Okay, deal.
You have
See.
to enter at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Casey's doing her part.
I know.
I'm
she
trying,
is.
but now I feel like I've really just stuck my foot in my mouth. I have to give my deepest apology to Jeff Probst after last week, because has anyone looked at that reel on the
Did it
Arch
blow up?
in the Courtney show? Oh my God. I looked like 2 days ago just to see how things on socials were going. And there was about 300,000 views on that video of us talking about him dating a past player.
Really?
And the comments, I think I turned the comments off because they were so mean. And I was like, oh
About
my God.
Jeff?
About Jeff and, about us, but just because that's going to happen. And I was like, oh my God, they're never going to let me on the show now.
Oh, no.
This thing just went viral on accident.
Whoops.
Oh, no. So you're apologizing?
I'm apologizing. I didn't mean it. We still love you.
You
course.
love Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
We, as you said last week, Survivor fans think that Jeff can do no wrong.
It's
Right.
true. We love Jeff.
And that's how everyone feels.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is beloved by
Yeah.
all in the Survivor fandom.
That is a crazy thing to a show that's been going on this long,
Yeah.
that it's not divided at all.
Yeah.
No.
And it hasn't been, there's not been one big dividing factor. The only thing that comes to my mind is Chris Harrison from the Bachelor franchise. He was so beloved until, one thing happened and he was gone. I can't imagine how crazy something would have to be about Jeff Probst to make us turn on him.
Well, it's similar to Tom Bergeron
Yeah.
Yeah.
from Dancing with the Stars. People are still upset about that
Oh,
removal.
I
And
can't
then
imagine.
Tyra could not. I mean, she was not the right person.
Yeah, mistakes.
But they just really did him wrong.
Yeah, it's a lot like Padma and Kristen on Top Chef.
No,
I mean,
it's nothing like it.
everyone-
Padma left on her own.
Everyone loves
Now
Padma.
she's trying to do a duplicate show
And Kristen
on
is
CBS.
no Padma.
Kristen is
Yeah.
competed on the show.
She's no Padma.
She's better.
Did Padma leave to start her own show?
No, she left it because she was done with it,
and then she started her
and then
own
she
show.
started her own show.
No.
Same thing. No difference.
Who did you have written down as your winner of the week?
I still put Christian.
Okay.
He just still seemed to be in the driver's seat for the vote. Everyone was kind of coming to him for what are we going to do. He also won immunity. But I think what Camilla said to him is right, that he's going to be on a lot of people's radar, his friendship with Devins. So I don't think he's got long before he's taken out.
What about those two that the one guy is mad at the other guy because he did some...
Oh, that's who they voted out last week, Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah, that's who Camilla blindsided Jonathan with the Charlie vote. And that broke my heart.
I know, I really liked Charlie. My winner of the week, I'm still obviously voting for Rizzo. He's always got a spot in my heart. But someone that really caught my attention this week in a new way is Cirie. Because not only is she Cirie, but she's now insulated by a wall of men in Ozzy, Devins, and Rizzo, and she's got D on the side, and no one really questions Cirie much anyway. Like always, idiots, you should have done that day one. And I could just see her really slipping through for the millionth time.
I think so too. I would love to see Cirie win. She's playing, the note that I made about her is that she's playing more of a new era game, even though she's an old school player, which is interesting to me. But my $1 million mistake that I have for this week, I think she and Ozzy being locked in with Rizzo is a mistake. I think he'll turn on them. I do.
I think there could be some conflict of interest. There's just too many people between Ozzy, Cirie, D, Rizzo. I guess Camilla was in there, but now she's
Emily,
not. So
maybe.
Tiff, Emily, then there's the Christian. I think there's just too much happening, and it's going to explode somehow.
I think Rizzo has made it very clear that he is playing for a name for himself. And so if he can take out a big dog,
Yeah, because he wants to get on all the other shows.
if
Yeah.
he can take out somebody big like a Cirie or an Ozzy, he's going to do it
Totally.
for his resume.
Yeah.
And how can Cirie, of all people, not see this?
I hope she plays him before he gets her.
Right.
And knowing Cirie, she'll be smarter. but I don't like it.
Yeah, because
Right.
you think he's looking for the fast track to reality show contestant
Yeah.
for all the different. This
he
is
could
what
be
he
on the
wants
Traders. He could be
Yeah.
on the challenge. He could.
to do. He wants to do all. He wants to do
He's
this
not
for a
strong enough
living.
for the challenge.
This is interesting, an interesting theory I haven't heard you say before. But totally, he's young enough, and I think that he's got all the hunger
Better
in the
than
world.
working.
Yeah.
Better than working.
You know?
That's right.
I mean, that sounds like that person that wants to. This is what they want to do for a living, and lots of them have
Yep. They sure have.
because we dumb.
We picked the wrong
And we'll watch
job.
all of the shows because we know the people that we know will be involved in it.
Yeah.
I'll watch them all.
I mean, Masked Singer just wrapped up. Has there ever been a survivor on Masked Singer?
I don't know. I don't watch it.
Has there ever been a survivor that like tried to show some talent that they had on the island?
Oh,
Like,
so Chase Rice, one of my biggest country artists over there, started on Survivor.
He did?
He did. He left Survivor and used his winners' earnings to start his music career, and it worked.
really?
Wow.
See, that's what I'm wondering. Like, are they allowed to, like, Naked and Afraid, bring one item?
They used to be
That
able
used
to
to be a
have
thing.
a
Call that.
comfort item, a luxury item they used
Yeah.
to bring.
What if somebody walked in with their guitar
Right.
or harmonica?
Can you imagine a harmonica?
No, that would you would be voted out
Yes.
immediately.
Yeah. No, that's not good. The only other thing I have written down is, remember last week when Tiffany stole everyone's attention during the challenge when she was unraveling those
Yeah.
bags and untying those bags? Someone asked her about it, and she made a video online and said, "You guys obviously don't know a double Dutch queen when you see one." She's like, I do that because
Oh
of
yeah,
double Dutch.
because of the spinning of the ropes.
Yeah.
You know the.
I was like,
Really?
man, I thought she was doing a reverse lasso or something.
Yeah, that's crazy. She untied the bags
Yeah.
in this challenge so fast.
Yeah, she has the skill
She's
from
got the
the.
skill.
I never did the double Dutch, but
No,
I was
me
always
neither.
impressed by people that did.
I actually had thought to myself, this seems like something Courtney would have been involved in.
No, I didn't. We did a thing called Chinese jump rope. Did
Yes,
you
I
ever-
was just talking to Ryan about that the other day.
loved it.
Me too.
Loved
Did you do
it.
that?
I'm not sure.
It was like an elastic band,
Uh-huh.
and you'd have two people that would make it taut.
Yeah, you put it around your ankles,
And then,
and then you had to jump,
you'd do all these different things.
and then you had to jump onto it with your feet, and then that would mean they would move it up, and you'd have to see how high you could go.
yeah, that's.
I
don't-
feel like you're going to break your ankle.
well, you're
not when you're little.
not- and you're not far from the ground.
Right.
You're very close. You wouldn't want to do it as an adult.
I should look up a video.
Yeah.
There's no way I
Also,
could do it as an adult.
have you seen Angelina in the news this week?
No.
Angelina talking big time, like going after Survivor and I guess like CBS for the amount of airtime that the men have versus the women. And so Kelly Wentworth, like I mentioned, and some other past survivors got out their pens and papers and did the research. I even took screenshots. And there's a significant difference between airtime for the guys when it comes to like their interviews and confessionals and even like their conversations versus anything to do with the women.
Really?
Yeah.
And
like,
you haven't noticed it.
not really, I guess. And I guess it's because we know them all, so they just feel so familiar with me. But I think Ozzy, Christian, Rizzo have the most. And then like Dee and Tiff and Cirie and everybody else is really far down on the list, even though we kind of have an idea as to what they've been up to.
Yeah.
So Angelina's really leading the charge to throw a fit about it. And I can't say that she's wrong because the math is there.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I know, but once you know these contestants, you're not looking at them as men or women.
No,
Right.
you're just looking at characters from
game.
your show.
Yeah.
Like, your favorite characters. And those are the people you want to see. And those are the people that are doing things that are interesting. But maybe the others are, and we just don't know.
I
'cause
know.
We're not seeing it.
And I think in radio, you can just really spot a good storyteller. And I think those are always the people you're going to use. Someone that's explaining things in a more fun and charismatic way,
Yeah,
like Christian or Rizzo or Devins.
Yeah.
but not Rizzo, in your opinion.
Not Rizzo. Less screen time for Rizzo. Get him out.
All right, so next week, what are you looking most forward to from the next week on Survivor, whatever you say?
I want to see some people brawl. I want to see some yelling.
I want to know what's going on with Coach. I would love to see an epic Coach meltdown. That would be great.
We've been very kumbaya up until this point.
This is
He-
not the
he's
coach
gonna
we're used to.
break.
Here's, it's coming because he had so much stuff in his hair last night. He had feathers, beads.
No,
You
he's
can
on
tell-
he's on the
You
warpath.
can tell where his head is at based on how much flair he's added to his getup.
Yes. That's good.
Like, here he comes. Here comes the coach we're used to. He's got
Benjamin.
a beaded braid on this side and feathers stuck in the back. He can only let the mask stay on for so long, and then we're getting the real coach.
Yeah, right. You can only hold the crazy back
Yeah,
for a
it's
limited
coming.
time.
It's coming.
It's there. It's going to bubble on up.
It's bubbling.
All right. Well, that is, you want to say final words to Jeff if he's listening?
Jeff, we love you. You can do no wrong.
We just like gossip, too.
We didn't mean to offend you. And Julie, the past player, get your bag, girl. We got nothing against you either.
You're lovely.
We just didn't know.
We didn't know we would awaken the Survivor Nation, but we're part of it.
Yeah,
and
you're part of it.
We love you, Jeff.
Yeah, don't turn on each other
Right.
No way.
as Survivor Nation. Is it really Survivor Nation?
I don't
I
know.
don't know what.
Everything.
we
Why
should
is
have a
everything
name.
nation?
I don't know.
It's a good question.
We need a new name for
Buff Nation.
fandom.
Nation.
Sounds like it's Naked Nation then.
Yeah.
All right, this has been. Tune in next week for another recap on All Girls Final.